Hey guys, it's April 1st, April Fool's Day 2017. And some of you may know, tomorrow I'm going to go pick up my, they say it's a 70, but I think it's got the different vents, so it might be a 71 240Z. It's rusty as fuck, but it's complete. Doesn't look like anything's been removed from the motor since it was parked. It's just been sitting rotten. But I gotta figure out why it was parked in the first place. It's gonna be a pretty big job, but this is a pretty big job. This is probably 6 or 7 years now. Labor of love. This is a 1972 Datsun 510. When I got it, it was a rolling shell. I had been looking for one for 2 years when I found this one, and I had to go to Kansas. Now I got the Weber DCOE dual side drive carburetors. This weekend I would be putting a motor in this. This has got the stock 1.6, which I pieced together. Thank you, Datsun. But I found an L20B at an auction for $20. So I bought that, and so far I probably put $2,000 into that motor alone. And it should run pretty good with that. But yeah, tomorrow I'm going to go pick up that car, so probably next weekend I'll be putting a motor in this. And then probably in 2 more years I'll probably be putting another motor in it. Who knows? But I'll let you have a little look at it. It's dirty as fuck. I put the big ass Datsun logo on the fucking windshield because people always say, "Oh, hey, is that a Fiat? Is that a BMW?" No, it's a fucking Datsun, which is way better. Got my cover on so I don't get that shit dirty. I drove it to work the other day. Like I said, this thing was, I had to get that back seat shipped to me from California. It was about $200 to ship it. And it's almost complete. I just got the badges on this year, the emblems. I never opened that. It doesn't have the stock fuel tank. It's got a fuel cell in it. Just a plastic fuel cell. Nothing fancy. It's fucking ratchet strapped down. So, yeah, it's going to get a fuel safe one of these days, but it would have got one this year, but I found this Z for fucking about the same price fuel cell is. So, I'm going to have 2 projects going on, but at least this one's almost done. I can drive this one. Hopefully, ideally, I'll drive it to the shop, have the engine in, be there a couple days over the weekend, drive it home on Sunday. Ideally. So, let's see. It had the bumpers on it. They're pretty rusty. So I plasti dipped them. I plasti dipped a lot of stuff. I just got that new air dam. It was a piece I always wanted, but I couldn't afford it, but now I got it. Same with the carburetors. They're only 44 millimeters, but compared to that fucking thing, it ought to flow pretty fucking good, and it does. It runs really good. I took the fan off. I got an electric fan here. I don't have a thermostatic switch yet, but I can just plug it in. if it gets hot, and it doesn't really get hot. If I'm driving it, it's fine. I don't usually just cruise around town. I don't fucking take it on the road, but the things I'm most proud of are the wheels. They're really nothing fancy. They're just Koenig rewinds. They're pretty cheap, but I think they set the car off. Those are brand new. The one on the trunk is actually an original one off of another car. It was pretty expensive, but they look so good. The other thing I'm pretty proud of is the steering wheel. There was 2 things I absolutely had to have on this car, and it was those wheels and that steering wheel. And I decided on a set of Corvo seats. I put a dash cap on it. Looks pretty good. If I ever find a new interior set, a nice interior set, I'll probably switch it out, or maybe get some aluminum door panels or something. I need to paint my A-pillars. C-pillars are back there, retard. The A-pillars, I was gonna stretch the headliner down, put fabric in there, but it'll just be easier to paint it. It doesn't have air, it doesn't have a heater. It's just a driving car, no radio. Who the fuck needs that shit? This is soundtrack enough. Oh, you like my coil there? Import, that's for sure. And that's just painted. You can probably tell because it looks like garbage. When I have the engine out, I'm gonna redo I got like bed liner for the engine bay, and I did it when the engine was out, but I didn't mask it off good enough when I painted it, so it's got overspray everywhere. So I'm gonna respray all that shit, make it look good. The new motor is tits. It is fucking nice. I took it to Midwest Cylinder Head. They bored it out for me. I put flat top pistons in it out of a 82 280ZX, and set the head up there. Had them put some new seats in, put new valves in, ground the seats, 3-angle valve job on that, and they cleaned it up, and it looks amazing. And it should run okay. I guess we'll just see if we have to run high octane, but I'm going to use a few parts off of this. Alternator, that's brand new. I'm going to use the intake and exhaust, obviously, and then the water neck, but fuel pump as well. I'm going to clean it up. It looks like shit. I took the valve cover off of this and the bolts, so it's got some really shitty bolts in it, and it's oily as fuck. It's not sealing up right. But I don't give a fuck. This is gonna get pulled out in a couple weeks anyway. As long as I can drive it to the shop, swap the motor, we're fucking good. And I built a heat shield for the carburetors because I was running it the other day, and it got hot enough it started to bind up in the linkage for the carburetors. I can't get it in very well, but you get the idea. And I'm going to wrap the header too. It ought to keep the heat away from the carburetors pretty well, but I'm going to knock all this shit out on the weekend, and probably on the weekdays I'll work on that 240. I mean, it's complete enough. I think I can get it running within the first week or so. Depending on the condition of like the cooling system, because I got a 68 Roadster. The hoses were chewed off, and there's a bunch of corrosion behind the water pump. I couldn't even move the water pump, but hopefully it's good, and I'll show you guys what it looks like tomorrow. Alright. This has gone too far. It's gone too long, so I'm gonna let y'all go.